Hey Kirby, with socializing and especially in today's world and this new culture and everything, I see a lot of my generation having a lot of what they call woke views, right? And so, but at the same time, as we live in America, anyone that says that they don't like money is lying. Everyone likes to use money, likes to go spend money, likes to go on vacations, whether they are far left, far right, no matter their political views, no matter how they think of the world and society, everyone likes money. But my question to you is, do you think being woke contradicts your path to financial success?
The first question I have for you is, what do you mean by being woke? What do people woke say that make you think they don't like money?
So I will say from previous conversations we've had in private, speaking about, some viewpoints of other individuals, how certain questions might be brought up with, like, let's say there is a great, strategy someone pulled off. They're pulling in certain rents on a certain property, or they're pulling in certain kind of revenue, and people ask the question, how is this legal? How is this allowed? Or if there's tax loopholes, they question, oh, how is this allowed? The rich should pay their fair share. Statements like that. I hear that mostly from people that have that mentality. And I mean, I know that mentality of tax the rich has been around for forever, but I see that mentality growing more and more amongst like my generation than I hear so from the older generation.
A guy told me this, and it's an older gentleman. He told me this. Um, he said these words, and these words have stuck with me for a long time. He said, just because you got a degree, you're not educated. He talked about how when he was graduating Southern University and he was celebrating his graduation, the teacher or professor walked up to him and said, "Oh, you think you're educated now because you got a degree." And the teacher or the professor eventually told him, "You're not truly educated until you have the ability to question information received." Like for him, when he told me, he thought he was just telling a story about his life. For me, it was an epiphany. Questioning information received and not saying, "Huh, what? How is that possible? Oh, why do they do it?" I always tell people, first, understand the law before you find the workaround. What most people do is they see workarounds, but they don't understand the law. So just yelling out, "How is that possible? How is that legal? That's not questioning information. They're just saying, "Hey, I'm a damn re." I can't say that word. I was about to say the R word. Let me backtrack. Let me run that back. But when you just sit there and complain and say, "How is that possible? How can he do that? How can that mean you spent no time understanding the original law itself? You let other people tell you what the law was, and then now you wondering how. No, understand, read. The reason why there are loopholes is because the people that found the loopholes understood the original law first. That is the secret of it all. So all these people on the woke agenda, that's all they do is, how is it legal? How read the law first. Understand. Have the ability to articulate a question to give you that "I got you" moment, to be able to say, "Hey, this law says this. Where is it possible for them to make that happen?" Instead of just saying, "Oh, just throwing up their arms, all emotional, all that other stuff." It doesn't make any sense. But they don't have true knowledge. They just figure if I complain enough, complain loud enough, or just keep ranting and raving and saying, "Oh, that shouldn't be legal," that is going to make it be. There's tax loopholes for a reason. Because for the life of me, I don't understand why people don't get it. All of these. quote unquote rich people, I'm not saying quote unquote because they are rich as hell. They're richer than me. They put all this money into politics, and then you think that they putting all this money into politics to tax and hurt themselves. They put all this money into politics. They put all this money into lobbying to create the loopholes. They know the common everyday man is not going to research the law as it's written. So they put all this money. Hey, okay, this is the law, but just create these loopholes for the people that's going to pay attention, and then we can take advantage of those. And so you still got your agenda pushed across saying, hey, we doing this to the rich, and we still over here not paying tax. That's why all this money is getting put into politics. So loopholes can be created. Just like the Roth IRA. The Roth IRA, it says the most you can put in is what is it, $7,000 this year?
Yeah.
Or it's somewhere $7,000 this year. And you got to have eligible earned income of max married is like 200 and something thousand. Millionaires still put money in the Roth IRA because they lobbied for a loophole called the backdoor Roth IRA. That's how it's done. Understand how the system works before you start complaining about it. Stop running to people that make you feel good and understand the underlying conditions that they put you in. I always say to people, I say, if one party is so good, why is X always happening where they control? If this party is so good, why is this happening everywhere that they hold the electorate majority in? But everybody just go blindly, and then they throw their little, basket weaving degree in the air and say, oh, I'm educated, I have knowledge. No, you're educated fool. That's all you are. And that's how I look at it. Sorry for going on a rant right there.
No, you nailed it on the head. And I mean, my point to people that think like this is, for one, they're hypocritical. The second point is that they they're worried about the wrong things. And I've seen people have this mindset. They have a good paying job, they have nice cars, they've got a house, a nice house. They've got all the things that they want in their lives that money can buy them. But yet they have this mindset of this should be illegal, this shouldn't be allowed, no one should have this much money, no one should have this. And it's like, with that mindset, you're literally putting a cap on what you can achieve. So if someone else could achieve it, that means you can achieve it too. But because you don't think it's fair that they have it and you want to put a cap on everybody, now you've limited yourself as to what you can achieve. Yet you still really love money. You still care about having money, still care about having finances and wanting to improve your personal finances. But you want to put a cap on yourself to not be allowed to reach it to become a multimillionaire or reach becoming a billionaire or things like that. That's why I think it's extremely hypocritical, is just people putting this cap of, oh, they shouldn't have this, they shouldn't have this, but you still love money. I mean, compared to other countries, compared to third world countries, people that live in America with that mindset, they're rich, they're considered rich, having a house, having cars, having food, all that stuff. It's like, why would you put that cap on everybody else when it goes right back to you and it restricts you as well? But like you said, it's just a matter of learning the loopholes. There's nothing wrong the rich are doing. It's just a matter of them taking the time to educate themselves and learning those loopholes, learning the laws to do those things that everyone else has the same access to. But no one else wants to learn those laws. They just want to point fingers and put blame on other people.
Alex, I'm gonna take you back to the hood for a minute. I know you went to private school, so your time in the hood was very small. But what we called in the hood back in the day, we call that pocket watching. Meaning they never believe that they're in that tier that they're talking about to say, oh, they should not make that much. It's always the people that make more than them. They shouldn't make that much. So they're capitalists with their money. They're a consumer with their money, but then they want to be a socialist with everybody else's money. They want to tell everybody else what to do with their money because they haven't achieved there yet. And that is the biggest one. Like let's use for instance Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House for like a gazillion years. She would sit there in front of the American people every day and talk about how the rich need to pay their fair share. The rich need to do this. The rich need to do this. All the while, she's not talking about rich as herself, with her $200 million net worth. She's talking about people that make more than her. But for 80, 90% of America, you're rich too. There's nothing Nancy Pelosi, and you saw during COVID when she was locked up, she had all the expensive ice cream and all that in her refrigerator. It's nothing that Nancy Pelosi does that she does relates to middle class and lower America. She said no border walls, but where she lived, she got walls all around, keeping everybody out. She keeping Americans out. but the country shouldn't have no walls for themselves. And that's what the woke agenda does. That's what it does is like they want to be a capitalist with their money. They want them to make more money, but they always talking about people that make way more than them. And I see it in my everyday life. I've seen people who started off not making a lot, talking about, hey, well, the rich need to pay their fair share. Then they proceeded to make a way lot more money, and then they start getting taxed, and they said, oh, this is criminal. No, this is exactly what you said when you was being a socialist with everybody else's money. Now you didn't reach that tier. Now you want to change your mindset. Now you see how much hard work it took for them to get to the level that they're at. Now you done moved up a couple levels, and now you see that, oh, now all the hard work that I had to do, now I got to give it to the government. That is the problem right there. People are not educated.
Let us know what you guys think. Don't forget to hit the like button and share this video, subscribe, and then we'll see you guys on the next one.